Hey all, hi to you all.
Hi everyone.
Today Demon and I will share 5 interesting DIY fishing projects with you.
And that you'll find useful and that you'll actually use.
Let's go, friends.
And now we will tell you how to make a flip float. We've already threaded our float onto the line, and now we just need to thread one more little nipple and insert the tip of our float into this nipple. We take it and carefully insert it. As you can see, we have this simple design. The setup looks like this. The float is backwards so that the float's antenna points towards the end where the hook will be. And on the other side, above the tip of the rod, we have these 2 weights. And near the hook, we place the lightest shot. Our setup looks like this. You weight the float as usual. And when the fish bites, the float won't sink to the bottom. Instead, as you can see, the hook will go to the side and the fish will lay it on the water. We're casting our float. As you can see, it's standing a bit sideways. If we can show it, you'll see the line coming out through the top antenna and going into the water. When the fish bites, the float lays on the water.
Guys, this type of inverted float is used for surface fishing when you are fishing for attacks and the weights are in your way. Because with weights, your bait will go down very quickly, and when you do it this way, and if you also put a 0.1 or 2.0.8 leash here, your bait will go down very slowly. Rudd, bream, and all the fish that take the bait aggressively will bite really well on this setup, trust me. And perhaps in the next video with Diamond we will fish with something similar and show you in action this very tackle, which will simply pull the float to the side at the moment of a bite. And it will be really visible even in the wind. In one of the previous videos I told you about the protected smartphone Ascal S80. This is an excellent rugged smartphone with great features boasting IP68 and IP69 protection. It has a good camera and there's a light show on the back, and its specifications fully match its budget price. Its big screen, friends, is something else. The color is just indescribable and the screen quality is top-notch for such a small price. The focus on the camera works well, taking great photos and videos, and you can also shoot underwater. Anyway, I wanted to remind you about it. The link will be in the description. If you're interested, go ahead and check it out.
There weren't as many fishing gear options as there are now. And that's why everyone did everything by hand. Let's say it's the old-fashioned way. In the last video, Seryoga told you how to make a spinner from a spoon. But in this video, we're going to show you how to make a lure from coins. For this, we will need 3 different coins in size. We made holes in the coins. Each of the coins has 2 holes. We'll need a treble hook and 3 rings. So first of all, we thread the split rings. In the same way, we thread the last ring. So we have all our coins gathered, and now we just need to thread the treble hook.
The plus of this lure is that you can make it with different weights, meaning you can add a few more coins at any time and it will become larger and heavier. Another advantage is that you can choose the color to match the coins. It can be either silver or something like brass, for example, something similar to that. So guys, experiment and you will definitely get something interesting like this. If you clean the coins, or just a little like I did, I cleaned them after drilling, you see, you get such a shine. You can polish them completely and you'll end up with a nice lure like the one we have with Diamond. Something along those lines.
It often happens that you go fishing at a body of water and there's quite a bit of grass, so you use this kind of tackle. It's called a snag-free lure, but it still gets snagged and you end up pulling a whole bunch of grass with you. Imagine that this is a fish. We have a pretty cool DIY project that will help you. For this, we will need a silicone fish with a hook, a multi-tool, and weights. First, we take off the hook, set it aside, and cut our fish like this, so that our weights don't interfere with the hook. So we carefully cut our lure. This is what it looks like, you see? So now we gently take our 2 weights and, how should I put it? We try to somehow fit our fish in there. One is ready, and the second one is ready. They will definitely wiggle around, but still, try to do everything as neatly as possible so that it all looks nice. Now we need a lighter. As you can see, we've packed everything in there and we can seal it up now. We take the lighter, heat it up, and seal our weights all the way. You can now see our weights in the middle of the fish. Thus, you and I will not need either cheburashkas or zhigolovki. They won't collect millions of kilograms of weeds. and you'll simply be able to smoothly move your bait through the thick of the weeds.
Here's our spoon that we've already used today. There are even marks from the lead and the heat, but that's okay. It won't ruin it. In fact, it gives it a more aggressive look. So at first, just like I said, we take the pliers and bite off a piece. Here's our spoon. We take the file and carefully sharpen this part. After we've done this with you, we need 2 holes. Also, using the file, we need to smooth out all these edges, the burr. Guys, our lure is almost ready. All we need to do is take the swivel and sheet and thread it through. Right here. Here at the front, we thread the swivel where we've already sharpened it, and where the handle is, we'll thread the treble hook through. It's very convenient to do this using a tool like round nose pliers. You can get a good grip on it. And easily do all of this, then thread it through. Exactly the same procedure with the winding ring. We just thread it through. That's it. Guys, our lure is ready. Yes. Friends, we know that there are fishing rods designed for reels. With this kind of reel holder, there are also pole rods that have no attachments at all. It happens sometimes, but it's quite inconvenient when fishing. Or you might just lose your reel. You know, we used to often notice among older fishermen, and even now too, we made the attachment for the fishing rod ourselves, specifically for the fishing line. Now we will show you how to do it. In the past, people often fished even with regular bamboo rods, or rods made from reeds or hazel.
Do you want to go fishing with a bamboo rod?
If you want to go fishing with a bamboo rod, friends, write in the comments. We'll definitely film it for you. And now we'll show you how to make a holder so that your fishing line is always on your rod, and you won't have to buy any kind of reel and attach it. We'll need some wire and electrical tape. Now I'm going to show you how to bend that thing that will hold your fishing line. We're taking our wire and we bend it in half like this. In this place we end up with this interesting little loop. You could say that. And here we just take and cut our wire. Here's what we ended up with. We have 2 of these little tails. Now we take them and bend them. Like this, we leave about 5 centimeters here and just bend it. After some simple manipulations with the pliers, we ended up with these 2 hooks. Now we will use blue electrical tape. You see, back then, everyone used it, not just electrical tape. It's like saying, here, we screw on our hooks. Now we move back about 25 centimeters, like this, so that our fishing line is here, and we attach the second hook. Now, with the help of these rings, we can wind our fishing line onto our rod, right here, and it will be stored here all the time, guys. Together with our rod, you can make such a simple winder for any rod, whether it's bamboo, wooden, or homemade. And this kind of winder has always helped fishermen while fishing. Oh, right, yeah. Look, he pulled it like this, a little carp. Yeah, made him dive. First thing, we need to make a hole here in the cork using some wire. We made a small through hole. There's this thing called a skewer, a wooden one. This is a straight stick. You can use anything, guys, that you like. We push our skewer through the cork, like this. And we already have a ready-made float with an adjustable antenna. We can make the antenna short, or we can make it long. Everything, just the way we want it, to suit any taste and color. I have this fluorescent paint. This paint glows in the dark. Now we're going to paint the antenna of our float with this paint. Our little float, even in the evening, well, in the dark, even at night, guys, we'll be able to see our float really well. Here's the float we've got. As you can see, I painted only the top and the buoy itself a little bit. Guys, the advantage of the float is that it's natural. It turns out to be an unexpectedly natural color. It's heavy, it's easy to make, and it's really visible in any conditions. No matter what you're catching, whether it's pike or crucian carp, this float, guys, is just great. And the plus is that it can be adjusted. So about the weighting, the less weight you have, the higher you can lift it. The waves are bigger, we raise the antenna. If you have, say, calm weather for an hour like it is right now, you can raise the antenna much higher and fish like this. So, as you can see, it's an adjustable float and it's quite visible at night, especially if you paint it with this kind of thing.
And the most important advantage of this float is that you can put on 2, 3, or 5 glow sticks, but it will still hold its weight.
Guys, well, here's the collection of DIY projects we've come up with.
Of course, you will definitely like them, and you'll be using them. If you want even more DIY projects, videos about DIYs, write your suggestions in the comments. We'll definitely check them out and showcase them.